to the Pastor Chira Show. I'm Pastor Chira, and today we launch. We launch into new territory. We launch into new mindset. We launch into new relationship. Are you ready to launch out? I want to launch out with me as we go into this conversation on today. And I'm excited. I want you to know that I am excited about this conversation on today because this young lady that I'm about to sit down and talk to, I've known of her, let me say it like that, for a very long time. And we had a relationship years ago. But you know how you kind of fall off and they go their way and you go your way, and you kind of don't know, and you like watch people from behind, and and then you kind of meet back up and it's like, wow, you've been doing so much, but you really don't connect. This is someone that I've always admired and wanted to really connect with. And every time I see her, I'm like, we gotta talk, we gotta talk, we gotta talk. And today we get to talk. And now I'm talking about none other than Minister Pastor Maryta Powell. I'm so excited. Hi.
How are you? I'm excited to be here with you.
You have no idea how excited I am to have you here on the Pastor Chira Show, just to sit down and have a candid conversation, because there's been so much that you've been through, and that your life has just been an example to so many. And you have a story, you have a testimony. But before we get into that, can you just introduce yourself to the viewing audience today?
Hello to everyone. God bless you. My name is Pastor Maryta Powell. I am from the Philadelphia area, and I am a gospel singer. I'm a gospel artist. I have traveled the world singing God's glory, preaching God's glory, letting the people know that God is real and He is able and He is willing to do exceedingly and abundantly above all you could ever ask or think. I'm excited to be here, and I pray that you are blessed by something that's said, by something that's done on today. This day is for you. God bless you.
Yeah, see what I tell y'all. This is why, and this is why you and I are sitting down having this, because you are just such an inspiration. And I know sometimes we don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And we don't see it. But you have been such an inspiration to so many, not just through your song, you singing, but just through your life and through the things that you've come through. How I'm coming, Reed. I'm coming. How do you keep your head up in spite of everything? And we haven't even talked about what the everything is, but how do you just keep your head up? What do you do?
I first have to say, it's what my mother taught me. It's what my family, my spiritual fathers, my spiritual mothers have taught me over the years. I always knew that I was different. I couldn't be like everybody else. I wasn't like everybody else. And so I had to build my own relationship with God. I saw mommy's relationship. I saw my grandma, my great grandma. I saw their relationship, but I didn't want their relationship. I wanted my own. And because I wanted my own relationship with God, every day is something exciting, it's something new, it's something different that I can explore to get to know Him, because who He is to you may not be the same to me. And so I have to learn him in all of his beauty and all of his splendor and all of the things that he's capable of doing. He's done it for you, but how can I get him to do that same thing for me if he's not a respecter of person?
Right.
So I think if I could use a word, it would be curiosity in
Mm,
knowing who God is to me.
mm,
I'm curious to find out who the healer is. I'm curious to find out who the savior is. I'm curious to find out these things. I'm curious to find out why did you do some of the things that you've done throughout your word, the promises that you've made to me. How do I get those promises to manifest, to unfold in my life? And
mhm,
so I believe curiosity of understanding him in relationship is
mhm.
what keeps me going because there's always more to God than we think.
There curiosity, but they said curiosity killed the cat. Ain't that what they say?
Not, not for me. I must be a lion. I'm not. I must be a lion or a bear. So lions and tigers and bears. Oh
Oh
my.
my! And that's true because listen, because it might have killed the cat, but it ain't kill that lion. It ain't kill that lioness.
No.
Because they're stronger.
No.
They're stronger than that. They're made
Yeah.
of different muscle.
Okay.
Yeah, they made
Yes,
different.
ma'am.
They made real
Yes.
different. And so, and
They
I
can.
like that. I like that. I'm curious about. I'm curious about God. I'm curious about building my relationship with Him and what that can really be and where that's
Yeah.
really going. I love that that's the focus. It's not, God, what can you do for me? But God, what's the relationship that we have with one another in order
Right.
for us to be in this thing together?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's awesome, right? Because just like we expect things from God, God expects things from us. Like we always think, oh, if I don't sin, then God is pleased with me. But no, He says, lift your hands as an evening sacrifice, which means He wants you to reach to Him.
Yes.
Then He says, early in the morning will I seek you. So that means that the first thing in the morning, He wants to hear from you. Like, Jesus, Lord, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, but you want me to talk to you? That's a beautiful thing. I'm curious to know why you want to hear from me first thing in the morning before I do anything, you
Because
know?
my breath still
So I
stink.
think that's
My breath still stink. And
right.
you want me to say good
No
morning?
crack, no
Yes.
Colgate, nothing. And you want to love on me. Like that
Yes.
amazes me.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
amazing to me.
Because that's
Yes.
love. Now that's love.
That's love.
When you
That's
turn over
true
and
love.
get that kiss and you ain't get here, that's love.
Real love.
And that's what we're
Yes.
looking for. I mean, all of us are really looking for real, honest, true, authentic love.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do we
Everybody
really
needs
know
love.
but do we know what that looked like though? Do we really know what that looks like and what we're really looking for? We say it, but do we
Hmm.
really know what it is and how to go after it? How did you figure out how to go after how to go after God to get his love and also to give your love to him?
I believe. I believe. Well, it's it's in my bloodline to love, if I could say it that way.
Because girl, you love.
And
You love
yeah, and
unconditionally,
I love.
like you
I'm
just
the type
do.
of person I love hard, and
Yep.
I don't care about your flaws. I mean, we can work through it. There's some situations where it's just like, no, we need to separate. We need to go
Hmm.
our different ways. Things happen. That's life. But then there's sometimes when um, I always say to myself, you got to be careful who you place in your life.
Hmm.
So sometimes we place seasonal people in long-term places,
Yes.
and we place long-term people in seasonal positions,
Hmm.
and we miss it. I knew from a child that God was a permanent position in my life.
That's right.
because I knew without him I couldn't make it. I knew. I hear sometimes people say, "Oh, there's just something out there." Yeah, that something is God.
It's God.
And the more you get to know him, the more you get to build your relationship with him, you can talk to him and he will respond. It takes time sometimes, but he'll show you the way. And it could be through a television commercial. It could be driving down the street and you see a billboard. He'll speak to you however he needs to
Yes.
draw you in. And once he draws you in, it's just like, oh, that's what you meant.
Right.
That's what you were trying to get me to understand. And so the beautiful part about that is the more that you talk to him and you allow, see, this is the thing, you have to allow him to respond. He's a gentleman. He's not going to press his solution
Right.
or his idea. He's
Right.
not going to press it upon you until you're ready to receive it.
Right.
One, because if he gives you something before your time, you're not going to know how to handle it.
That's
And
right.
so the more I loved him, whether people say, "Oh, I don't know if he's real or not," but the more I began to exude love on him to
Mm-hmm.
find out if he was real, it started to become natural. And I
Mm-hmm.
started to feel his presence more. I could be in a market and I would feel the presence of the Lord and my eyes would well up with tears
Yeah.
because I knew he cared enough about me to not let me be in that accident, to not let
Mm-hmm.
something minute take my life, or to
Mm-hmm.
not let suicide, or to not let adversity come and destroy who I am and what I am. I believe
Yes.
in you. And
Yes.
the more I believe, the
Mm-hmm.
better we become.
That's
So
it.
love is something beautiful if you really want it to be,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to take work in any relationship. That's marriage, that's platonic relationships. Just it takes work to keep it going. And I think
Because we do love. Like
right.
we do, and we love hard. And you just touched on where I wanted to go, because it's like we're talking about the God love and the God relationship, but we have this relationship, and a lot of times we don't have this relationship. Like we don't have relationship with the
Mm,
people that we're looking at every day. We don't have that true authentic love, right? And those feelings and that caring, right? And that compassion for those that we sit with and we look at and we have conversations with every day, or not,
yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
don't we don't do this reach out. How has that reach out been for you? Like, oh, wait, let me pause. We got to go to commercial break. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. And I want you on the other side, we're going to talk about this relationship, the relationship,
Yeah.
how we do the reach out to those that have maybe hurt us, harmed us, or done us dirty. We're going to commercial, and we'll
Mm.
be right back. Come hear our previous artist, Maryta Powell. Yes, she will be at the Greater Bethany Fellowship of Churches Holy Convocation 2023. I want you to come and hear Maryta Powell. She is a psalmstress, she is a psalmist, she is a minister, she is a pastor. You will be blessed by her music during the 2023 Greater Bethany Fellowship of Churches Holy Convocation. I'm looking forward to seeing you there so that you can hear her ministry in music one more time. God bless. We are back, and we're back with Pastor Maryta Powell, and we were just talking about this relationship. So, but let's talk about the relationship with the other people. How do you resolve yourself in that love when that love hurt?
To be honest with you, I first had to be delivered from myself. And I had to be delivered from myself because um, growing up, I would hold grudges. And I might not get you now, I might not get you tomorrow, but I'm going to remember to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a way to be. That's not the characteristics that Jesus had shown.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't even realize it until I got married. I had gotten married. Happy anniversary to my husband, 3 years
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I had gotten married, and my husband was like, "You really have a problem with remembering what somebody's done to you, and you need to stop that." I'm like, "No, if you get me, that means that you were out to get me, and I got to make sure that I'm okay." And he was like, "No, that's not the way to be." I was like, "Well, I've been like this all my life." He said, "Well, you need to change."
Ooh.
And I was furious. I was livid. But I had to stop and think, like, he's right. Like, I really have to make some changes and change my heart
Mm.
towards, get this, God's people.
Mm.
And I started to do some self-examination, and I started to write down those moments I was angry, or write down my thoughts when people would do stuff to me, or when people would say things that I didn't like. Um, I had to do a self-examination, and the more that I started to do this, the better things became for me. And I was able to forgive.
Mm.
I was able to let things go. I felt more freedom for myself than I did for the situation. I was like, I became proud of myself. Like, girl, you did a good job. Like, you really let that go. You really had an opportunity to breathe. And the more I began to, so I made up a model for myself.
Mm.
Love, give love first, and the people will give love to you. Because a lot of times people are just looking for
Yes.
an opportunity to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking. My great grandmom used to say to me all the time, people will forget your name. They
Yeah.
may forget what you look like. They may forget what you sound like, but they will never forget how you made them feel in
That's
their
right.
moment of need, in their time of
Mm-hmm.
distress. And so I'm a lovable person anyway. I'm a big teddy bear. And I love to love people. Like, I love to see people happy. I love to see people joyful. And God changed my heart.
Mm.
It's really true that God can change your heart, because I'm not where I used to be. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do those things that I used to do, because I know not only it doesn't just hurt God's heart,
Yeah.
but it hurts my heart and the
Right.
person's heart that's affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a song that used to say, "Change my heart, oh God, make it ever
Yeah.
true. Change my
Yes.
heart, oh God, may I be more like you.
Yeah.
You're the potter, I'm the
I'm
clay.
the
Mold
clay.
me and make me." This is what
Yes.
I pray. And
Yes.
so when that really became my prayer, I began to love people even more. And it takes time to heal. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to lie and
Mm-hmm.
tell you that it's
Yeah.
going to happen overnight. You're going to get through it overnight. It doesn't happen like that. It takes
Right.
time to heal. When you
Right.
break a bone, you don't get healed the next week.
It takes
It takes
time.
6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 weeks.
Absolutely. Yep.
It takes
Mm-hmm.
time.
Time. It does. And so, but did you even did you even think or realize or recognize that your heart was hard?
I didn't realize it. I didn't know, because that's something that started with my siblings. Like,
Wow.
they would do, how
Oh
sibling
yeah.
rivalry is, and I love my siblings to death. Like, I
Right.
love them, but they come hit you on your arm or something like that. You're like, okay. And see, I was a bigger kid. They were a little smaller than me, so they could run. So I'm
Right.
not going to get you right now, but I'm
I'm gonna
going to
wait.
get you later.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna
I guess
wait.
that's where I'm going to wait and get you. So I guess that's where that mentality had, come from.
Hmm.
But it grew with me
Yeah.
into other situations and
Hmm.
with other people.
Yeah.
And then I praise God, for my husband helping me realize and recognize that. That's another thing. Get you a mate that can help you grow. Because if
Woo!
your mate is not helping you grow
Come
and
on.
mature, you're
Mm.
not in the right situation.
How did you get into the arts and music and being the gospel psalmist and minstrel? Because you're a minstrel. You are, because whenever you open your mouth, you minister. So I mean, the Holy
Thank
Ghost
you,
just shows
Lord.
up every time. So how did you get there, and what's this project that you have that's coming out very soon?
Well, it all started. Well, I come from a long line of singers, actors,
Hmm.
dancer, you name it. My family is very, very talented, and I was about 3 years old. I was in. It might even be before that. I was in. I used to go to Blair Christian Academy,
Okay.
and they needed. Yeah, they needed
Wow.
a singer for one of their programs, and our music teacher, Miss Latisse, came and she came running. She said, "Your aunt can sing. Your family can sing. Let me see if you can sing." And so she did the scale and everything with me. I was already singing around the house with my family and stuff like that. We're a musical
Hmm.
family, but I never knew like, oh wow, let's try it on your own. So I did it, and the people were applauding, like, "Oh my God, she's so amazing!" I'm like, I could do this for the rest of my life. And so I sang with my family ministry, the Liberty Singers. Some of you may remember before my mom passed away, we would sing and we would travel around singing. And then I wanted to make a career out of this, and that's what I did. I followed my heart, followed my dream,
Mm.
and it just kept going, it just kept growing, and God just kept opening many doors for me. And then I was able to do a live recording, April of this year, April 2022, the 22nd of April.
Yep.
It was phenomenal. Lives were
Hmm.
changed. The music was phenomenal. I work with, I'm not sure if you know him, Pastor BJ Shores from Eternal Hope of Glory Ministries.
Yes.
And then I did some things with Ms. Julius Pearson and a Chicago chorale called Black Church Music Volume 1, where the song that you're going to
Wow.
hear, it's a part of that. I'm a feature on that album. um and it's just been amazing. It's just been a blessing, and as long as I allow God to lead, it'll keep growing. That's what I believe.
Because that's the only way that this is going to happen. The only way, the only way it's going to happen is if you are led by God, you go with God,
Yeah.
and you go in God.
Hmm.
It's the only way.
He'll make it
Because
all
when we
right if you
when we
let him.
try to do it, it fails every time.
Mess
Every
up.
time.
Big
Yep.
mistake.
Listen, I'm so elated. We are so not done. We're running out of time, and I have so much more that I want to say and that I want to talk to you about. But listen, how can the people get in touch with you and your amazing ministries, all that you do, your music? How can the people be in touch with you?
For booking and engagements, they can go to the Maryta Fields Ministries at gmail.com.
Okay.
If you would like to reach me on any social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it's all the same. I will sing the number two, the letter U. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. If you type that in, you're going to see me. If you're looking for me on Facebook, my name is Maryta. That's Maryta Powell, Powell. I can be reached on all of those platforms. If you're looking for the music, you can find it on YouTube, YouTube Music, Tidal, Apple Music, Pandora, any of the Google Music apps. You can find me Pretty much anywhere. I'm
Anywhere.
around.
We can find you. We can find you. But listen,
You can find me.
we can find you, and we need to find you because, like I said in the beginning, you are a wealth. You are amazing. I am so glad that when you see me, you don't go the other way, but you're like, hey, and we are open arms every time. I love
Do
you
you remember that
to
you were my
life.
teacher
Wait, what?
at one point? Remember you were my teacher at one point.
You too? I taught you too? Oh my God. This is why I can't go anywhere. What school? Furness?
Say that again.
What
What
school?
school was it?
Was
I
it
don't even
Furness?
remember what school. No,
Where'd you
no,
go to high
no.
school?
I went to Frankfurt, but I think it was Austin Meehan. I think you were a substitute there.
I think, oh my God. I had everybody. Listen, I tell people all the time, like, I taught so many, and that's the thing. And this is what I'm gonna say, this is what I love about me. Relationship. And then when we started, right? That's where we
Yep.
started. And it doesn't matter. Like when you have relationship and when you build relationship, it doesn't matter how long, it always comes
Yeah.
back.
God bless you. I love you.
Oh, I love you. I love you. Listen, the Pastor Chira show. Oh my gosh. You never know. These candid conversations, they take you to a whole nother place. But I thank God for the candid conversations because it's nothing like being authentic in your conversation. And that's what we need to be. We need to be authentic in our conversations. So whoever that relationship that you need to have a conversation, you need to have healing. You need your heart softened because it's been a little hard. Like she said, check yourself first. Do introspect of you first so that it can come out and it can heal the relationship that you're in so that we can be in the same ship. I'm Pastor Chira. This is the Pastor Chira Show, and I'll see you next week. God bless.